Is a musical legend. He is a multi-award winner, including induction into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. He is a humanitarian and an activist, and he has performed at the Arc for over a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Cockburn.
Well, hi everybody. Great to be with you all here in the ether. Be better in the flesh, but you know, we take what we can get, I think, and I'm glad this is happening. Thanks to the ARC for making it happen and inviting me to be part of it. So I'm going to start with a song that comes from an album just a few short years ago. That's the second last one that I've put out. The album's called Bone on Bone, and this is a little exercise in what is now nostalgia, I suppose, because we can't do what the song talks about at this point, unless you live in Miami, you can do whatever you want. But I choose not to, for very good reasons, I think. Anyway. In front of Pete's, goes on about the goings on up and down the street. Talk about evictions, talk about their dogs, drunkards in the dog park and the ones in future fog. The caliphate of perverts, the flight of refugees, expanding ranks of homeless, disappearing bees. Oh, cafe society, a sip of community. Cafe society, misery loves company. Oh, hey, it's a way to start the day. Cafe society, talking up a storm. Talk about the NASDAQ and the racing form. Talk about the opera. Talk about cars. Talk about the desert and the colonies on Mars. Talk about tsunamis, the crazies with their guns, crazy ass policemen shooting everything that runs. Well, cafe society, a sip of community. Misery loves company. Hey, it's a way to start the day. Size container ships that fly the swelling seas. Somebody went to heaven, left some parts in the bay, but he's a friending of a friending. I don't know him anyway. Flapping lips of flatulence, bellow, vote for me. Everything is spinning in looming entropy, but cafe society, a sip of community. Cafe society, misery loves company. Hey, it's a way Cafe Society, Pacific Community. Cafe Society, misery loves company. Hey, it's a way to start the day. Cafe Society. The good old days when Trump was just an idea that no one thought would win. Anyway, there you go. Shows you what we know. This is a song that goes back a little further. And it kind of perhaps expresses more of what we feel at this moment than Cafe Society does, just because it's, well, you'll hear. I did not imagine this song to have a sort of collective application that it perhaps does now. Sunset is an angel weeping, holding out a bloody sword. No matter how I squint, I cannot make out what it's pointing toward. Sometimes you feel like you've lived too long. Days drip slowly on the page. You catch yourself pacing the cage. I've proven who I am so many times. The magnetic strips worn thin, and each time I was someone else, and everyone was taken in. Powers chatter in high places, stir up eddies in the dust of rage. Send me to pacing the cage. I never knew what you all wanted, so I gave you everything, all that I could pillage, all the spells that I could sing. It's as if the thing were written in the constitution of the age. Sooner or later, you'll wind up pacing the cage. best map will not guide you. You can't see what's round the bend. Sometimes the road leads through dark places. Sometimes the darkness is your friend. Today these eyes scan bleached out land for the coming of the outbound stage. Pacing the cage. Pacing the cage. A little guitar switch here. "2020 was supposed to have been the occasion for my 50th anniversary tour, commemorating 50 years since my first album came out, and that didn't quite happen, as we know. But in preparation for that, I put together a few older songs that I hadn't been doing of late, and this is one of those. You might want to sing along with this. The words are, at least the chorus, the words are dead simple. You can't not get it. And you're probably in the privacy of some space that doesn't have too many witnesses, so you don't have to feel shy or anything. Anyway, sing. A lot for the way my life has gone. For the fools in the eyes of the world, that will never end. Whoa, Let's hear a laugh for the man of the world who thinks he can make things work. Tried to build the New Jerusalem, ended up with New York. A lot for the newsprint nightmare, a world that never was, where the questions are all why, the answers are all because. For the sun red balling, the thermal inversion haze, a lot for the nuclear good time boys, numbering all our days. A lot for the dogs barking at our heels, they don't know where we've been. A lot for the dirty window pane, hiding the love within. happy tune, a laugh for the time gone by, a laugh for me and Kitty in the delivery room, waiting for the child's first cry. Laughter from the mid-70s or thereabouts. And it might actually, I can't quite remember, but it might be on the same album as this next song. Just got to tighten this a little bit here. String is not sufficiently garroted. And the lights lie tumbled out like gems. The moon is nothing but a toothless grin. Floating out on the evening wind. The smell of sweat and lube oil pervades the night, and the rush of life in flight at the speed of light. A million footsteps whispering, the guitar sounds, some voices sing, smoke on the breeze, eyes that sting. And far in the east, a yellow cloud bank climbs, stretching away to be part of tomorrow's time. Earthbound while everything expands, so many grains of sand, slipping from hand to hand, catching the light and falling into dark. The world fades out like an overheard remark. In the falling dark, light pours from a million radiant lives. All for kids and dogs and the hard-shelled husbands and wives. All of that glory shining around, and we're all caught taking dive. And all the beasts of the hills around shout such a waste. Don't you know that from the first to the last we're all one in the gift of grace? In the falling dark. Back to the other guitar here. This is a little more recent, but not very much. But people have been singing it lately because I think it's another one that seems to have some application to where we find ourselves. The hours grow shorter as the days go by. You never get to stop and open your eyes. One day you're waiting for the sky to fall. The next you're dazzled by the beauty of it all. When you're lovers in a dangerous time, lovers in a dangerous time. These fragile bodies of touch and taste, this vibrant skin, this hair like lace, spirits open to the thrust of grace. Never a breath you can afford to waste. When you're lovers in a dangerous time, lovers in a dangerous time, lovers in a dangerous time, lovers in a dangerous time. in a dangerous time. Okay, one more song and I think I'm done. This is another one that will suit your participation in, you folks out there. I know you're out there. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thanks for supporting whatever this is supporting. They're always supporting something. Like I said before, glad to be in this case, glad to have been with you for this time. And look forward to seeing you face to face at the earliest possible opportunity. Looks okay, the world survives into another day, and I'm thinking about eternity. Some kind of ecstasy got a hold on me. I had another dream about lions at the door. They weren't half as frightening as they were before, but I'm thinking about eternity. Some kind of ecstasy got a hold on me. Walls, windows, trees, waves coming through. You being me and I'll be in you together in eternity. Some kind of ecstasy got a hold on me. Up among the firs where it smells so sweet, or down in the valley where the river used to be, I got my mind on eternity. Some kind of ecstasy got a hold on me, and I'm wondering where the lions are. Wondering where the lions are. Wondering where the lions are. Ooh, yeah, yeah, wondering where the lions are. Oh, wondering where the lions are. Wondering where the lions are. Yeah. Huge orange flying boat rises off the lake. 1,000-year-old petroglyphs doing a double take, pointing their finger at eternity. Sitting in the middle of this ecstasy. Young men marching, helmets shining in the sun, polished and precise like the brain behind the gun. Should be. They got me thinking about eternity, but some kind of ecstasy got a hold on me. And I'm wondering where the lions are. Wondering where the lions are. Wondering where the lions are. Whoa, wondering where the lions are. Ooh, yeah, yeah, wondering where the lions are. Ooh, yeah, yeah, wondering where the lions are. Yeah, 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 yeah. Freighters on the knot on the surface of the bay. One of these days we're gonna sail away. Gonna sail into eternity. Some kind of ecstasy got a hold on me. And I'm wondering where the lions are. Wondering where the lions are. Wondering where the lions are. Yeah, wondering where the lions are. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, da, 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 da,
Here's a songwriter who fits whole short stories into song. Introduced to ARC audiences in 1995, first played the Ann Arbor Folk Festival the following year, 1996. Cherished part of our ARC family ever since. Returned to the festival as a headliner in 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, Dar Williams.
Hi, my name is Dar Williams, and I will never forget the first time I came to the ARC because I was auditioning for a great booking agency and opening for Ani DeFranco. And, you know, she's really nice. She's really cool. It was daunting. And so when I got there, the reputation of the ARC had, you know, preceded my arrival, which was also kind of intimidating. But then I found out why it's so famous. It's the warmth. It is the staff. It is the legacy of the venue. It's the love that was put into creating the venue, and it's the audience that was just there for me. I just felt that warmth as soon as I walked out onto the stage so that I could give the best performance I could. So young, dorky hair, no makeup. The audience just believed in me, believed in the fact that I was there to do my best. So every time I come back to the ARC, I remember that night, but I also experience all over again the warmth of that wonderful volunteer staff and of the audience. So I love you all, and I thank you. I thought that maybe we can just kind of look towards the spring. And you know the light is fading all too soon. You're just two umbrellas one late afternoon. You don't know the next thing you will say. This is your favorite kind of day. It has no walls. The beauty of the rain is how it falls. How it falls, how it falls. And there's nothing wrong, but there is something more. And sometimes you wonder what you love her for. She says you've known her deepest fears, 'cause she's shown you box of stained glass tears. It can't be all. The truth about the rain is how it falls, how it falls, how it falls. But when she gave you more to find, you let her think she lost her mind. And then so on you, feeling helpless if she asked for help, or scared you'd have to change yourself. And you can't deny this room will keep you warm. You can look out of your window at the storm, but you watch the phone and hope it rings. You'll take her anyway she sings, or else she calls. The beauty of the rain is how it falls, 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 how it falls. And here is a spring song called Spring Street. I'm sorry that with your questions all alone. But I was too happy driving and too angry to drive home. I was thinking about the easy courage of my distant friends. They said I could let this bridge wash out and never make amends. Can I blow this small town, make a big sound like the star of a film noir postcard? Can I just forget the frames I shared with you? And I can't believe what they're saying. They're saying I can change my mind, start over on Spring Street. I'm welcome anytime. There are Spring Street storefront daisies flowing on their neon stems. There are new shirts on the clothes racks. Should I feel like one of them, I can find a small apartment where a struggling artist died, and pretend because I pay the rent I know that pain inside. Here, let's watch the tour bus stop and tell us here's the scene of a spring green life dream. Take the best part, write it in your caffeine diary. And I can't believe what they're saying. They're saying I can leave tonight, start over on Spring Street. I'm welcome all the time. This year April had a blizzard, just to show she did not care. And the new dead leaves, they made the trees look like children with gray hair. But I'll push myself up from the dirt and shake my petals free. I'm resolved to being born and so resigned to bravery. Yeah, the one who leaves this also grieves. This too much rain on a prairie floodplain, houses floating, love is like that. We built on the river. Hey, I'm asked to say, yeah, I'm leaving, but I don't have to go there. I don't have to go to Spring Street, 'cause it's spring everywhere. Yeah, yeah. So I've called this next song maybe kind of a love song, and other people have called it a cautionary tale. And so I finally figured out that it's a cautionary love song, and it's called February. I threw your keys in the water. I look back, they'd frozen halfway down in the ice. They froze up so quickly, the keys and their owners. Even after the anger, it all turned silent there, and the everyday turned solitary. So we came to February. First we forgot where we planted those bulbs last year. And then we forgot that we planted it all. Then we forgot what plants are all together. And I blamed you for my freezing and forgetting. And the nights were long and cold and scary. Can we live through February? You know, I think Christmas was a long red glare, shut up like a warning. We gave presents without cards, and then the snow, and then the snow came. We were always out shoveling, and we dropped asleep exhausted, and we'd wake up and it's snowing. And February was so long that it lasted into March and found us walking a path alone together. You stopped and pointed and you said, "That's a crocus." And I said, "What's a crocus?" And you said, "It's a flower." I tried to remember, but I said, "What's a flower?" You said, "I still love you." The leaves were turning as we drove to the hardware store. My new lover made me keys to the house. And when we got home, well, we just started chopping wood. 'Cause you never know how next you'll be. And we'll gather all our arms can carry. I am lost to February. This is a song that started my whole career because I didn't realize that it would hit sort of a subterranean nerve that now we all understand. Now we all understand what it's like to have a girl who writes a song called "When I Was a Boy." I won't forget when Peter Pan came to my house, took my hand. I said I was a boy, I'm glad he didn't check. I learned to fly, I learned to fight. I lived a whole life in one night. We saved each other's lives out on the pirate deck. And I remember that night when leaving a late night with some friends, and I hear somebody tell me it's not safe, someone should help me. I need to find a nice man to walk me home. When I was a boy, I scared the pants off of my mom, climbed what I could climb up on. And I don't know how I survived. I guess I knew the tricks that all boys knew. And you can walk me home, but I was a boy too. I was a kid that you would like, just a small boy on her bike, riding topless. Yeah, I never cared who saw. My neighbor came outside to say, "Get your shirt." I said, "No way, it's the last time. I'm not breaking any law." And now I'm in this clothing store, and the signs say less is more. More that's tight means more to see. More for them, not more for me. That can't help me climb a tree 10 seconds flat when I was a boy. See that picture, that was me, grass-stained shirt and dusty knees. And I know things that gotta change. They got pills to sell, they got implants to put in, they got implants to remove. But I am not forgetting that I was a boy too. And like the woods where I would creep, it's a secret I can't keep, except when I'm tired, except when I'm being cut off guard. And I've had a lonesome, awful day. The conversation finds its way to catching fireflies out in the backyard. And so I tell the man I'm with about the other life I lived. And I say, now you're Top Gun, I have lost and you have won. And he says, oh no, can't you see? When I was a girl, my mom and I, we always talked, and I picked flowers everywhere that I walked. And I could always cry. Now even when I'm alone, I seldom do. And I have lost some kindness, but I was a girl too, and you were just like me, and I was just like you. Thank you.
The first time I emceed the Ann Arbor Folk Festival, I forget the year, but John Prine was the headliner, and he was a huge influence on me. One of my favorite songs he ever did was Jesus, the Missing Years. And so this is my tribute to his influence on me. It's a little song called Jesus Was a Stoner. He healed the sick and he fed the poor and he taught the blind to see. Pointed up to a place called heaven from the shores of Galilee. It's all right there in the Bible, plain as plain can be. And what's good enough for Jesus is good enough for me. The Immaculate Conception gets easier to believe if Jesus was a stoner dividing on the devil's weed. He walked in leather sandals and he wore his hair too long. With a glaze in his eye, gazed the skies, keep just this side of gone. So how dare I pose the question, such blatant blasphemy. But the Bible hints that the prodigal son had something up his sleeve. The Immaculate Conception gets easier to believe if Jesus was a stoner dividing on the devil's weed. Well, God said unto Adam, before you hit on Eve, bear thy gifts thy giveth thee, and in these thou shalt believe. In the back of Eden's garden by that eucalyptus tree, behold the mighty hemp plant, the magic in its seed. In the Song of Songs, King Solomon beheld himself a bride, bedazzled by her beauty. Tears filled up his eyes. He compared her fruity fragrance to his aromatic reed. And then he sparked a fat, he took her by the hand and got down on bended knee. The Immaculate Conception gets easier to believe if Jesus was a stoner dividing on the devil's weed. God said unto Moses, build an altar in your tent. Take that stinky ass burning bush and let's call it heaven sent. Boil its oil till it's golden, golden, in this thou shalt anoint, and then proclaim its essence sacred and bless it with a big fat joint. Jesus cast out all their demons, straightened out their crooked limbs. When they whiffed his cloud of holiness, they all believed in him. Pontius Pilate said, Messiah, you're nothing but a joke. Jesus said, you can drink your wine, I'll stick to my holy smoke. The Immaculate Conception gets easier to believe if Jesus was a stoner dividing on the devil's weed.